Robotic process automation is the automation of ordinary everyday workflows. So prior authorizations is one of those that we can all talk about and we have in our oncology practices. Prior authorizations in their paper form are extremely inconvenient and inefficient. And as we can all attest to, they cause delays when a patient needs to start therapy and that fax didn't go through, or the insurance company says it gets lost. And all of these things result in unnecessary stress and anxiety for that patient. It's interesting, for all the advances that we have in cancer care, immunotherapies, CAR T, we still rely on dinosaur technology such as faxing for authorizations. Or we have a hodgepodge of electronic portals and paper processes. Faxing and all these other asynchronous communications really slow down the prior auth process and reduce our ability to follow up in efficient and intelligent ways. The move to process automation centers around that thought process of working smarter and not harder. Even prior to the COVID crisis, being in Southeast Louisiana, we're no strangers to the threat of business disruption, especially during hurricane season. And Hurricane Katrina taught us a very valuable lesson, that cancer care cannot stop even during times of crisis. So we're always on the lookout for ways to automate our processes in case we need to turn on a dime and move segments of our business to work remotely. But even in crisis times aside, there's definitely an argument to be made for process automation due to everyday hiccups in our businesses. Patients rely on us and our work product so they can begin treatment. We can't be so heavily reliant on paper that auths get delayed because, an employee handling a particular prior auth went on vacation or became ill and no one can find that paperwork. And, not to go back to COVID, but we definitely learned this lesson in my practice as we had a few people out on quarantine. And having that prior auth process automated allowed a multitude of employees to jump into one central system, and that process for that, for those patients, it never stopped. It was seamless.